All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to furnish your apartment, which means to fill up your apartment with all the goodies that you're going to need to sit on, watch, eat with, cook with, listen to, wash and clean with. And so you have to have somewhere to sit. So assume you got some things as hand-me-downs. Hand-me-downs are things that your parents, your relatives, aunts, uncles, grandparents, older cousins, they had extra of it, so they gave it to you. So those things are those things that have stars next to it. So stars could be things that are hand-me-downs. Everything else you either rent or buy straight out. Now, if you decide whether or not some things can be bought, so some items will not be necessary for that type of home. So you can decide whether or not to rent the items at a monthly cost or buy them. So if you choose to rent, you will end up paying more for each item because you're going to pay that the entire time you own it. So if you own it for a year, you're paying this 12 times. And that is a lot more than if you just bought it the first time. But if you buy items instead of renting, assume you used an interest-free credit card. The money that you had to spend, and then the next page is going to be talking about your monthly payment for a credit card. So if you buy these on credit, on a credit card. Okay, so you're going to go through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items, the 10 items on this page, and you're going to decide whether or not you are going to buy or rent these items. So for example, computer, you probably don't want somebody looking over your shoulder, like having to return a computer because you're going to want to keep it. You're going to use it. So I would buy a computer right out. How about living room furniture? Well, I can rent that. I mean, I could have my parents give up some old couch. I could find an old couch. So I could probably have that just as hand-me-downs. Kitchen table, I would probably rent that. It'd probably come with the apartment, so I'd have to pay for that. TV, you probably want to have your own TV so you can buy a big screen at Walmart or something. Probably going to buy that on credit. Stereo system, you want the surround sound to go with the TV, so you're going to buy that straight out. Washer dryer, you can rent those, to kind of rent, so if it breaks down, it's not your problem. You can just return it. Bedroom furniture, I could probably get that as a hand-me-down, an old mattress and a bed frame that my parents' family aren't using anymore. So I could probably just rent that. I mean, not rent, I could use that as a hand-me-down. Refrigerator, you probably don't want to take that from your parents because that thing's gonna be old and moldy. So I'm gonna rent that fridge every month for 36 bucks. My parents don't have any lawn equipment, so I'm gonna have to rent the lawn equipment. Actually, I don't think I need a lawn equipment because I'm living in an apartment, so they have that already. So I don't need to have lawn equipment in there with me. So I can just skip that. I don't need lawn equipment. And then pots and pans, you have to eat off of something and cook with it. So you're going to have to buy because you can't use hand-me-down or rented pots and pans because that just spreads COVID. It spreads the Rona, and we don't like that. So now on this next page, you're going to be adding up everything you bought on credit card. So this goes along right with furniture and accessories. So a lot of the time you can use a credit card that has non-interest for the first 18 months or so. So we're going to be buying these items with a credit card that has no interest for the first 18 months. So if you pay it off within those first 18 months, it's not going to grow anymore. There's no interest on the money that was spent. It's just going to be a flat rate if you pay it off within the first 18 months. If not, then you get interest applied. But since we are responsible, we're going to pay off that flat chunk of change in the first 18 months. So you're going to go through and add up the things you bought. So you go back to your trusty calculator, and we bought a computer for $116. We bought a television for $502. We bought a stereo system for $235. And we bought pots and pans for $137. So altogether, that comes down to $990. So that goes in this first step. What did you buy? You spent $990 buying all the stuff to outfit your apartment. So next, you have 18 months to pay it off. So you're going to divide your number, $990, by 18, because you're going to pay it off over a period of 18 months. So $990 divided for every month you're going to pay it off for 18 months. So that becomes $55 a month. You're paying off $55 a month on your credit card. Next, in this section, you're going to add up any rental items that are going to cost you a month. So you go back to your furniture and accessories, you clear it off, and you rent a kitchen table for $26. Then we're also renting a wash and dryer for $37 a month. Then you're going to be renting a refrigerator for $37 a month. $36. And all that equals $99. So you then rent stuff for $99 a month. But then this happened. So you bought all this stuff, you rented this stuff, and now you're going to roll to find out what happened the moment you finished your shopping spree for accessories and furniture. So once again, we have your dice, and you're going to roll to find out what happened. So you click on our link. I'm going to roll. I'm going to get 4. So then I go back to my individual budget and 4. So I spent too much on entertainment this month and paid my bill late. Oh no, there's a late fee. So since it's the second time I've done that, I add $70 onto my monthly bill. So for this first month, I'm going to be adding a $70 surcharge onto my monthly bill. So for this first month, I was paying $55 on my credit card plus $99 to rent plus the late fee of $70. So this first month I am paying $224. $224 as this month's payment. That was not responsible of me, was it? So as you know, as is typical, we go back up to our previous balance, $22.81, $2,281, and then we're going to take away what we owe a month. So we're going to take away $224. And so now our new income, our new money is $2,000 and $57. $2,057. After we've paid for our furniture and all the goodies to fill out our apartment or house.